Hello, everybody. Happy New Year, and welcome to another episode of Overwatch Weekly, the first video on my channel for 2020. So, there's only so much that has actually been going on for the past 2 weeks since I made my last Overwatch Weekly video. But there's enough that there is stuff for me to talk about. So let's jump into the very first thing, which is something that has actually been going on now for about a week, but it ends tomorrow, and that is that if you log into Winter Wonderland before the end of the event tomorrow, you can get 5 free Winter Loot Boxes as a holiday gift. So make sure you go do that before tomorrow, because that is when the event ends. January 2nd. Next, we have the first map pool for the 2020 Overwatch League season. Now, we don't know exactly how long that map pool will last. We don't know how the map pool is determined and all that kind of stuff, because we know that they're not doing stages for 2020, so whatever determines that, I have no idea. But the control maps for the first map pool are Ilios, Busan, Lijiang Tower, Oasis, and Nepal. So all the control maps are in the map pool, and that's just because those are the tiebreaker maps, so they need a couple more of those. Then, for the assault maps, it is Hanamura, Horizon Lunar Colony, and Temple of Anubis, so no Paris, and no Volskaya Industries, so it's not an awful map pool. For hybrid, it's Blizzard World, Eichenwalde, and Kings Row, which means there is no Hollywood, and there is no Numbani. And for Escort, it is Junkertown, Havana, and Dorado, which means that there is no Route 66 and no Rialto. So those are your map pool maps. I don't know how long the maps will be in the map pool. They don't have like an official statement on that. They didn't say like, oh, the maps for the map pool will last for this amount of time or anything like that. We know there's no stages. That's usually how they did it in the past, or that's how they did it in the past, so based on stages. But since there's no longer a stage count, we will just have to wait and see. I'm sure they'll just try to do it like a quarter of the year, and then they'll switch it, or it'll be half of the year, and then when we get past the All-Star break, there'll be a new one. It'll be one of the two. I don't know for sure what it'll be exactly, but we will wait and see. The final story that I have for you is a story from MonteCristo, who, of course, Overwatch League caster, now former Overwatch League caster, who announced yesterday, actually, that he would be leaving the Overwatch League. And he had a long string of tweets, but I wanted to bring it up because I wanted to talk about it because it is in line with some stuff that I've talked about in the past. So, his first tweet is, I would like to announce that today is the last day of my Overwatch League contract, and I will not be returning next year. Although I had a great time helping to develop and launch the league in the first 2 seasons, I am leaving to pursue further career growth. The departure of Nate Nanzer from Overwatch League led to irreconcilable creative and philosophical differences between myself and the league's current leadership, and all parties will be better served by parting ways. Now, this is something in line with something I talked about several months ago now. I mentioned that there was a story about how the introduction of Pete Listelica as commissioner of the Overwatch League kind of changed a lot of things. People didn't really like his way of working, and it's something that he had a problem with, or a lot of people had a problem with, who were leaving Blizzard or were leaving the esports side of things. And I don't know if anyone actually ever left, based on what we talked about and what I remember seeing. But here is the first tweet that is truly someone saying, I left because I don't agree with the direction that the league is going. And I think that's a huge, huge, huge sign of things to come for the Overwatch League. Potentially poor things that are going to happen to it in the future, but we will see over time. But this is a very interesting thing that we're seeing someone who is outright saying that they are leaving the league. They're no longer going to be involved in the league because they are unhappy with the leadership. Monty followed that tweet by saying, "What's next for me? I've been granted exciting opportunities to produce esports content and broadcasts in accordance with my own vision, standards, and 15 years of endemic industry expertise. This means that I will not only continue to perform as on-camera talent, but I will also broaden my skill set as a creative director and producer. I will be able to share more details on my new projects in the coming weeks. As I depart, I want to give special thanks to Nate Nanzer, Mike Morheim, Amy Morheim, Marissa Palumbo, and Kiki Aitken, who brought me into OWL. I also want to express my gratitude to my casting/desk/hosting colleagues for creating this special, cooperative, and fun atmosphere that shone through on camera. I'm extremely grateful for our camaraderie and the opportunity to work with a wealth of industry veterans." Final thank you goes out to the fabulous development team, particularly Jeff Kaplan and Scott Mercer, for our many conversations and the thoughtfulness put into all your decisions. The most difficult part of this transition is leaving my casting partner of the last 7 years, Doa. I could not have asked for a more skilled, funny, dedicated, and true friend on this wild esports journey. Leaving behind the synergy we created through our shared sense of humor and thoughtful style is the saddest part of departing OWL. I'm confident we will, however, find many ways to continue working together in the future. Unfortunately, my departure from Overwatch League means that I will be suspending production of Oversight with my co-host Lauren and will cease creating Overwatch-focused analysis and power rankings on my personal channel. Although I enjoy making these videos, the low demand for supplementary OWL content means that my energies are best used elsewhere. I wish the Overwatch League success in the pivotal year of localization, and I hope we can find some way to work together in the future. No doubt you will find me cheering at the Los Angeles homestands next year. And that is the end of that. So, now, what does this mean for the rest of the stuff going on? Now, one of the things I find very interesting is Doa has come out and said that his contract is also up, but he has not said that whether or not he's returning. He just said, all I'm saying is that my contract is up and that I will be negotiating and looking at options going forward. Now, one of the things I find very funny is that MonteCristo mentions that the low demand for supplementary OWL content means that my energies are best used elsewhere. That really hurts me, Monty, because I know you're right. People don't really want OWL content, which is kind of interesting, and I think it's just the result of OWL kind of having a very weird life. It's the kind of thing where I think that the Overwatch League team puts out so much content during the week, during the watch point, and I think that's the thing that people don't really care about. They don't really want to see what else is going on, and it's the kind of thing where I feel like Overwatch League, a lot of the fans of the Overwatch League, I think, really just kind of watch and enjoy. They don't really care about power rankings or team analysis or anything like that, which I do. I think that's really interesting, but not everyone does, and part of why I make it is because I find it very interesting, and it's something that I enjoy, and I want people to have fun doing and whatnot. So that's really where I think the Overwatch League is going forward. It's a very interesting position. I didn't think that this would be something to see. And I think, I know a lot of people who aren't huge fans of MonteCristo, and they have no problem with the fact that he's leaving. They're happy that he's leaving. They're like, I don't care about him. He's irrelevant to me. It doesn't really matter to me. But I thought MonteCristo was, whatever you think of MonteCristo as a person, I thought him being there was a huge benefit to the league. I thought he was knowledgeable of the game, and he shared that knowledge, and I think he was someone who made the league better in every way just by being there, because he was intelligent and he understood what was going on and he cared about what was happening, and he was very insightful on the game, regardless of, like I said, whether or not you think he was rude or if you thought he was funny, whatever you thought of him. If you thought he was whatever, there's a lot of people who have very different opinions on MonteCristo. I thought that him being there was better as a whole for the league, and I think that seeing him go is a real shame. But that really is everything that I have for you today. If you enjoyed, consider liking and subscribing. Let me know down below your thoughts on any of this. Hope you all have a wonderful 2020. But until next time, I'm going to get out of here. So thank you once again, and bye-bye.